As dusk settles in, casting long shadows upon the jagged canyonlands of the Sonoran Desert, the dark history of what was once Arizona's most successful gold mine remains shrouded in mystery. In the hushed darkness, only the roaming ghosts linger, haunting the dilapidated remains of the Vulture mine, guarding its legacy of treasure and tragedy from beyond the grave. Founded in 1863 by prospector Henry Wickenburg, the lure of striking it rich attracted upwards to 5,000 miners to the Vulture mine and its surrounding town of Wickenburg at its production peak. In 1866, the small mining community of Vulture City was established, bringing both prosperity and a reputation for lawlessness to its bustling surroundings. Violence ran rampant throughout the decades as 18 miners convicted of heinous crimes like theft and murder were executed by the hangman's noose from the infamous hanging tree, the ancient ironwood on the outskirts of town. Accidental death took far more lives as dozens of miners tragically became victim to malfunctioning machinery and collapsing sections of the mine, trapped helplessly beneath more than 100 feet of falling rock. Ultimately, Vulture Mine's output waned throughout the 20th century. Decades later, as federal revenue shifted towards mines producing natural resources more essential to the war effort, the Vulture Mine was permanently closed in 1942. After nearly 80 years in production, Vulture Mine had produced upwards of 340,000 ounces of gold and 260,000 ounces of silver before ceasing operations permanently. And there in its abandoned structures would remain alone, as would the forgotten remains of the dead buried deep within the mine. It's here countless specters continue to lurk within its cavernous confines. From the ancient to the criminal, the ghosts who haunt the Vulture Mine roam its darkened, derelict structures, desperate to escape or merely to communicate their plight to the living. Visitors daring enough to explore the Vulture Mine are usually welcomed by mysterious orbs, cold spots, moving shadows, rocks thrown by phantom hands, voices whispering ominous threats, cries in the darkness, violent shoves, and approaching footsteps from invisible work boots. Witnesses have also reported the sounds of machinery, shouting voices, and the clanging of digging tools. One famous Vulture Mine ghost story, that of a 20-year-old mine worker named Jimmy Davis, has been shared for generations. Making repairs to a malfunctioning pulley, Jimmy's arm became caught inside the belt loop as it suddenly tightened, rapidly tossing his body back and forth, slamming it into heavy machinery before being thrown to the bottom of the mine shaft, breaking every bone in his body. Surviving the fall, Jimmy would perish from his injuries just 5 hours later and laid to rest in the nearby Wickenburg Cemetery. Jimmy's ghost remains in the Vulture Mine, witnessed throughout the decades by visitors and paranormal investigators, a presence often accompanied by a man's agonizing screams. The ghosts of Vulture Mine are many. In life, tragedy consumed their quest for gold. In death, they remain trapped, protecting their precious treasure for all eternity. Once again, just like in previous episodes, I don't know how much of this is true. I'm just reading the literature that they gave me with the village. It is a pretty cool ghost story nonetheless. Till next time, stay creepy.